On Tuesday, June 17th, the bold and the beautiful Sheila Carter's journey from merciless schemer to unlikely matriarch has captivated viewers for weeks, but no matter how heartfelt her apologies or how genuine her tears, Steffi Forrester remains unconvinced that the woman who once held her family hostage has truly shed her dark past. All eyes turn now to a looming crisis that could either cement Sheila's redemption or plunge her back into disgrace. The planned abduction of little Hayes Stafford by Luna Nozawa, Sheila's own troubled granddaughter. Luna, once fixated on threatening the wife of her biological father, Finn, has shifted her sinister focus to Steffi's son, stalking him in the shadows of the Forrester Beach house with a calculating intensity that chills the blood. On sun-drenched afternoons, when Steffi thinks Hayes is playing safely under the watchful eye of his devoted father, Luna watches from the dunes, her eyes darting like a predator sizing up its prey. She's gathered every scrap of intelligence she can: Finn's routines, Steffi's protective instincts, the precise location of the beach cottage's rear exit, and she stands poised to snatch Hayes right under their noses, a brazen kidnapping that would leave the entire Spencer Forrester clan reeling. Meanwhile, back in LA, Heather and Poppy Nozawa fret over Luna's unraveling psyche, but their warnings have little impact on the young woman driven by a mixture of jealousy and desperation to prove herself indispensable to the family she barely knows. Steffi spends sleepless nights conjuring worst-case scenarios, convinced that Luna's instability will be her undoing, while Finn oscillates between defending his niece's right to redemption, encouraged by Sheila's impassioned pleas, and safeguarding the child he adores more than life itself. Sheila Carter, torn between the selfish instincts that once made her a fiend and the flickering maternal love she feels for Luna, must confront an impossible choice: allow her granddaughter to commit an unthinkable crime that could forever taint the Carter name, or intervene with the kind of selfless heroism that might finally win Steffi's trust and secure her place in Hayes' life. At the crossroads of this moral battlefield, Sheila reflects on every misdeed that led her here, the hostages, the betrayals, the violence, and yearns to prove that she is no longer the monster Steffi fears. In hushed conversations with Finn, she begs him to give Luna one more chance, promising that together they can steer the girl away from darkness. Yet as the tide of fate gathers, Sheila realizes that words may not suffice. Only decisive action, a courageous stand against her own flesh and blood, will show the Forresters that she has truly changed. And so, as Luna readies her plan beneath the veil of twilight, assembling the tools and the nerve to abduct innocent Hayes, Sheila positions herself between the lines of loyalty and duty. She envisions a rescue that will play out like a lightning strike. Luna lunges from the dunes, hands outstretched for the terrified boy, only to find Sheila's strong arms intercepting her with the authority of a matriarch claiming her domain. A desperate scuffle ensues, Luna's wild eyes reflecting betrayal as her grandmother pins her down and calls for help, summoning Finn and even Steffi as witnesses to her defiance. In that crucible of family drama, as Luna's fingers claw at Sheila's coat and Hayes clings to his grandmother's skirt, Steffi and Finn converge, horror and relief warping their expressions as they realize the abduction was thwarted by the very woman they never thought they could trust. In the aftermath, the beach house becomes a courtroom of raw emotion. Luna, sobbing and defeated, is taken into custody by local authorities under Steffi's watchful gaze. Finn hovers protectively over both women, torn between his niece's anguish and his wife's vindication, and Steffi, tears streaking her cheeks, looks at Sheila with a new blend of gratitude and guarded hope. And then Sheila, wounded in the fray yet standing tall, turns to Steffi, her voice hoarse but resolute. I would burn the world to ashes before I let anyone harm my grandson, she vows, extending a tentative olive branch that promises supervised visits with Hayes and Finn and a new chapter in her tumultuous saga. Will Steffi accept this hard-earned redemption, opening her heart to the woman who once threatened her very family? Can Luna find her path back from the brink now that her own grandmother has condemned her actions? And as the sun sets on the Forrester dunes, casting long shadows over the beach house, one thing is clear: Sheila Carter's fate and the future of little Hayes will be decided not by promises or apologies, but by the strength of her resolve in the moment of truth, when she must choose between blood and conscience and prove beyond doubt that the most dangerous person she ever was is nothing compared to the protector she's resolved to become. Delivered a shock that will reverberate through the corridors of Forrester Creations and right into the hearts of our favorite characters. Luna Nozawa finally came face to face with the brother she didn't know she had. Until now, Luna has been a steadfast observer at the edge of the Forrester world, content to sketch her models and keep her secrets close. But as dawn broke on that momentous Tuesday, she received word that would change everything, an enigmatic phone call hinting at a brother she shares neither the same mother nor the same path. The scene unfolds on the pristine sands outside the Forrester beach house, where Luna, camera in hand, waits in apprehensive silence as a tall stranger emerges from the mist, eyes scanning the horizon until they lock on her. There's an instant recognition, half-blood, yes, but wholly connected in that silent gasp, that tremor of disbelief. This stranger, whose name we will yet learn, steps forward slowly, uncertainty giving way to relief as he murmurs her name, Luna? And in that single syllable, Luna's world tilts on its axis. She feels the weight of the revelation. Her life has been more tangled than she ever imagined, and now she isn't just a lonely observer. She's part of a family she never knew existed. What secrets does this brother hold? Why was she kept in the dark? And how will this bond reshape Luna's place in the grand tapestry of the Forresters and the Spencers? All questions teem like restless waves on that beachfront as the camera lingers on her stunned face, ready to capture every flicker of emotion. Meanwhile, back in Los Angeles proper, the emotional stakes could not be higher as Nick Marone, the brooding ex-husband of Brooke Logan, storms into the Forrester boardroom with a mission: to rescue Brooke from despair and danger. Brooke, whose life has been a seesaw of devotion and betrayal, has once again found herself on the verge of emotional collapse. This time under the weight of impossible demands from Forrester Creations board and the manipulations of those who see her vulnerability as opportunity. Nick, dressed in a crisp suit that belies the turmoil in his heart, strides in with determination radiating from every step. He finds Brooke seated at the head of the table, her posture rigid, her gaze distant. The tension crackles like static as Nick approaches, every eye in the room drawn to the fraught history between them. No fanfare, no dramatic declaration, just Nick's calm voice cutting through the silence. "Brooke, look at me." She turns slowly, tears brim in her eyes, and for a heartbeat, the world stands still. Then Nick places a hand on her cheek and whispers, "You are amazing." Those words, simple yet profound, carry the weight of every moment they've shared. The laughter, the love, the betrayals, the reunions. Brooke's breath catches as Nick leans in, eyes locked with hers, and claims her lips once more. The Forrester executives freeze, cameras flash, but for Nick and Brooke, nothing else exists in that charged instant. He pulls back slightly, searching her face. Will she meet him halfway? Will she allow herself to be saved? And though Brooke's lips part in response, we're left on the edge of revelation. Yes, she returns his kiss. Because in that moment, neither past nor future matters, only that they are together again, bound by history and passion. But while Nick and Brooke reignite their tempestuous romance, in another corner of the Empire, Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes prepare to confront the specter that has haunted their love, Brooke herself. Ridge and Taylor, whose bond has been tested more times than we can count, agree to speak with brutal honesty. Ridge, battling the remnants of old affections for Brooke, and Taylor, determined to solidify her place as his wife, come together in Ridge's stately office, surrounded by architectural models and the faint aroma of mahogany. Ridge's voice is steady but laced with regret as he admits, "Taylor, I promised you my heart when I asked you to marry me. And I mean it. But there are moments when I think of Brooke that I feel torn." Taylor's eyes flare with both hurt and resolve. "Ridge, I need the truth. Not the words you think I want to hear. What do you feel when you look at her?" Ridge shifts uncomfortably, memories of midnight confessions, stolen glances, and whispered promises flooding his mind. He confesses that Brooke still holds a piece of his soul, that her laughter echoes in the halls of his mind, that her strength and warmth have become a phantom he cannot exorcise. Taylor, hurt but unyielding, challenges him. "So are you bound to this ghost? Or are you ready to choose me here and now?" The tension reaches a crescendo as they stare each other down, the fate of their marriage hanging in the balance. Will Ridge let go of Brooke's ghost and forge an unbreakable future with Taylor, or will history repeat itself, plunging them all back into the cycle of love and betrayal? As the Forrester saga unfolds, Luna's newfound brother stands on the brink of revelation. Nick and Brooke reclaim their destiny in a fiery reunion, and Ridge and Taylor face the ultimate test of trust. All the while, across the dunes at the beach house, Luna's eyes remain fixed on another scene, Steffi Forrester and Hayes Stafford, whose tender companionship has blossomed into something deeper. Luna watches them intimately from behind a dune, heart-pounding as she sees the way Hayes' smile lights up Steffi's face. But when Hayes, sensing someone's gaze, steps away from Steffi to scout the shoreline alone, Luna seizes her chance. She calls out his name, softly at first, then insistently, drawing him toward her shadowed vantage point. "Hayes," she says, voice trembling with equal parts excitement and fear. He turns, surprise giving way to guarded curiosity. Luna extends a small package. A collection of sketches she's made of his beachside tranquility, his gentle strength, his kindness shown to Steffi. "These are for you," she whispers, watching as Hayes' eyes soften at the gift. But what happens next is anyone's guess. Will Hayes accept this token as the overture of a deeper connection with Luna, or will her intrusion drive a wedge between him and Steffi? Tuesday's episode has set the stage for fervent declarations, shocking revelations, and the dawning of bonds old and new. The bold and the beautiful continues to weave its intricate tapestry of love, loyalty, and the indelible ties that bind us, blood, romance, and everything in between. Tune in to discover whose heart will triumph and whose past will demand a reckoning that even the sands of the Forrester Beach house cannot bury.